G'day everyone. I hope everyone had a good round. We've got a little bit of a different video this week. Obviously, I had some videos during the week going over the who's hot and who's not list, the 15 most popular trade-ins and 15 most popular trade-outs for the week, based on like percentages from all the teams on footy statistics. So I just thought I'd do a recap of how that advice went after one round. Obviously, it's super early to tell, and yeah, this is using a lot of recency bias, but yeah, just in terms of transparency, I thought it was good to see how the advice went. So pretty much, I've left it in black. It went neutral, I'd say. It's too early to tell, or yeah, like it was just a standard game. If I put it in green, it means it was good advice for that round. If it's in red, it means the advice didn't work out that round. So yeah, we'll start off with the 15 most popular trade-ins. There were 4 out of 15 buys that I mentioned. So yeah, starting off, Hugo Savala, he was the one I said. Him and Cleary were the two I said I'd be looking to get in. Cleary was obviously 45% owned. So yeah, most people had him already, but Hugo Savala was a bit less owned, super less owned. I don't even know what his ownership is now, but he was the most popular trade-in at about 10%. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's 24% now. Wow. So that he must have been 10, 15% before the round. And yeah, he absolutely crushed it with 57. He was on 6-2, but lots of try save and updates. But yeah, nothing wrong with the 57. He already made 47k, has a minus 16 break even. So yeah, if he didn't have him, he was the perfect enabler at 230k. I'd still be looking to get him in, even with Chad Townsend returning at any point. But with the way Savala and Sandon Smith are playing together, I can't see Chad Townsend making it back anytime soon. And yeah, the Roosters won, so I think they won. Yeah, they won. They won. Yeah, they smashed the Dragons. So yeah, he's safe. His spot is secure, and he's still so cheap. So yeah, I'll be getting him in. What buys does he have? Yeah, he plays round 12, 15, and 18. So yeah, perfect. Just get him in if you haven't already. It's not too late. Obviously, he's going to make a ton of money on that minus 16 as long as he stays in the side. So yeah, that was really good advice, but pretty obvious one with him being the most popular trade-in. Dylan Egan, I've left that as neutral. Obviously, his score was poor with 33, and he lost some minutes with Emery Gula back. So did Toby Dutchman, but so that's one to monitor. If you did bring him in this week, it probably wasn't the best trade-in, even though I did suggest to buy him. He was playing 80 minutes, 70-plus minutes every week, so I thought that would continue. So that's a trend we'll have to look at in the next couple of weeks. Still made 39k, and I think he has a relatively low break-even still. Not Dylan Egan. Yeah, no, it is Dylan Egan. Yeah, 23 break even. So he's still got a little bit of money to make, but that will slow down a little bit with 33, and 48 minutes is not ideal. I grabbed him after his first game. So yeah, anyone who did that is winning. But if you bought him in last week, it's a little bit unfortunate that his role did diminish. Ethan Cleary, he made 20k. 56 points is about what he's averaging for the year. Obviously, he has that 5 game where he got concussed early. So it's a little bit disappointing, but yeah, I think that's probably one of his lowest scores moving forward. So he still made 20k. He's still been a little bit cheaper. So not an ideal result, especially if you captain him like me, but it's a bit harsh to mark that red, I think, especially after 1 week. And yeah, Toby Couchman, I've put it neutral again. His minutes were down, like I mentioned, with Dylan Egan, with Emery Gula coming back. So that's not ideal, but he still made 16k. His break even's probably a little bit higher now. Let's take a look. Yeah, 50, so it's still lower than he was priced at. I did mention his minutes were all over the place. I thought he'd get anywhere from 50 to 60, but he does have the tendency to play lower. Obviously, that was within the interchange bench, but yeah, 49 minutes is probably one of the lowest you'll see if he's starting prop, and any injuries in that forward pack, and he'll start to creep up again. So no concerns there, which is why I've left it neutral. The big one I got wrong, Erin Clark. Yeah, I still stand by this, even though he's a potential trade in this week. My justification was I didn't think he'd play 60 minutes every week. He played 60 minutes last week, but that was his only time over 50 minutes in the last 2 seasons. And obviously that was for the Titans instead of the Warriors, but I just didn't see it continuing. But it looks like he might be playing 60 from now on. He was their best forward without a shadow of a doubt. Made 45 tackles, was involved in everything. Got a try assist as well, and that was a really nice try assist too. 15 break even, so he'll be popular again. What's his ownership? 9.47%. So yeah, I can definitely see a lot of people bring him in this week. So he'll probably be on that who's hot list again. I personally won't be doing it. I've got my eye on a couple of different hookers. I've already mentioned Jaden Brayley is one I'm certainly interested in. Take a little bit of a detour here. He played 70 minutes as a starting hooker, which is really promising. It's super dependent on team list tomorrow. But yeah, he's a monster when he plays big minutes, and priced at 32, 12 break even. I don't think he'll be on many people's radar either. So if you're seeing this, maybe you pick him up. But yeah, 0.5% owned. He's a massive pod. Obviously, he averaged 43 in 75 minutes, and so that's already 12 points of value if he does play 74 minutes, which is probably unlikely. But then 51, 50 in the same sort of minutes. So plenty of data, 56 in the same minutes. So yeah, plenty of data to support him if he does play a bigger minute role. It is purely dependent if he starts. I'm not concerned if Crossland's on the bench because Crossland came when Brayley went into the forward pack. So I don't believe there were any injuries. I'd obviously have to check that before I make the trade. But yeah, at the moment, that's who I'm getting in this week. Jez Tavanga I'm interested in, but he has a bye this week. So unless I need Walsh as a looper, I'll probably be getting Jaden Brayley. And so let's see if you want to ride with me. But I'll let you know what my final trades are anyway before I go ahead. Jackson Purdue, yeah. So I mentioned he had a minus 13 break even, but that was a bit of a trap or like a false low. Obviously, for this round, he was going to make whatever his break even said. But moving forward, his break even would creep up. I'm looking at Purdue. Yeah, so even if he gets a couple of 40s, that break even's already back to 42 in 2 weeks. So yeah, he'll make a little bit of money. He obviously made 60K. I said he'd make between 50 to 100K. I think I was more about 50K. But yeah, he's probably got that left in him. So if you bought him in last week, you're probably going to make 100K or so. But it just takes one bad score and that's gone. Let's say he gets a 30, 35 and 40. Yeah, he's going to knock that points. Money-making potential down the drain. So, yeah, I put it neutral even with a 60K because it was expected he was going to make that much money. Yeah, he's just priced too high for me when you have to trade him out in a couple of weeks anyway. Halasima, I'll get myself green, but, yeah, it's a pretty easy avoid off the interchange bench, even though he did was named to start in the last hour before last team list an hour before the game. Yeah, he made 38K with a super low break even, but yeah, his role wasn't. He played 55 odd minutes. Marky Mark, I'm not going to try to pronounce his name on here because I'll have to edit it. 48 points. Yeah, he was really good. 3 line breaks, a try. He made 37K. Wingers are going to be up and down. So I gave myself a red, but yeah, I'm not concerned if you didn't bring him in. If you brought him in, you're happy with the 48, but yeah, I don't see the merit in it personally unless you were desperate for a winger fullback. Greg Mazu, I said I gave myself a green, probably generous. It's probably a black as a neutral. I said avoid unless you need a winger fullback. 40 points. A lot of people were chasing that 88 points, and it was far from that. He did have a try denied, which would have been an extra 16 points or so, and he was super close. I thought Casey Badger might give it because he's notorious for doing that, but yeah, not to be. It was the right decision. But a 40 is not bad. It's just not what people would have wanted after trading him in with his 88. Dylan Lucas, I said avoid this week, but try and get him in the next couple of weeks. 49 points plus 8, yeah, substandard. So a fairly standard game for him. He didn't quite play 80, but he played 76 minutes, which is great. Just rested in the last couple in his first game back from injury, but yeah, really strong data to support that he'll be playing 80 from now on. I was a bit concerned with Thomas Can on the bench. But yeah, I thought he'd be back to 80 in no time, and yeah, it looks like he's already there, so pick him up whenever you want. He's a perfect center to pick up. Playing on the edge, he'll be a final team must. Ryan Pappenhausen with 39 points, plus 5K. Yeah, barely hit his break even. Came off the last 10 minutes, so Munster moved to fullback. That was just precaution with the game like that. Yeah, I said his injury history is too bad to even consider bringing him in, and yeah, I still feel that way. Fletcher Sharp, again, with Mazu, avoid unless you need a winger fullback, and he got exactly his break even, so he got 50 points. Really good score. Still no kick meters, 24 or something this week. Yeah, that was my main concern, but yeah, he does enough of the other stuff where he is fine to pick up. I think they play around 12 as well, which is good. Let's have a look. I really need to get all over these bye rounds. So much going on. But yeah, he plays round 12 and 15, so yeah, pick him up whenever you want. But just be prepared for low and high scores. It's going to be a bit of a roller coaster. But yeah, I didn't personally pick him up because I got Marzu, Iongi, Garrick. Who else? I've got so many winger fullbacks. I just don't need them. I also had Jaden Campbell who got out, traded him for Walsh. Yeah, I don't need it. Winger fullback at the moment, but yeah, if you need one, pick him up for sure. Jacob Kraz, 35 points, minus 11k. So yeah, I think that was solid advice not to get him. I'd said wait until Origin, wait until round 12 when the Origin teams are named, see if he's in there with Lomax's injury. I was a bit concerned about the offloads, but he had 5 anyway. I think most of them were in the second half. He had 5 and 4 in the first 2 rounds. I said I didn't see that continuing, but I was wrong about that. There's still only a 35 points with 5 offloads and a try. So a bit disappointing, but it was a wet weather game. They got smashed early. He was on single digits at halftime. So yeah, nothing to be concerned about if you did pick him up. But yeah, I just advised against him, and he's obviously lost money. So he's a nice jewel, and if he doesn't play Origin, I'll probably be picking him up. But yeah, very concerned that he will with the form that is in and Lomax's injury. Hiroti, yeah, he got injured after 30 minutes or so for 10 points, minus 4k. But Iro's back soon anyway, potentially even this week. So it was an easy avoid. I don't know what people were thinking bring him in. I assume it was most casuals, but he was still on the list, so had to talk about him. And then Isaiah Katoa, he got 46 points, didn't quite hit his break even. You didn't get him to make cash. You got him as a keeper, but he's the 6th or 7th best half towards the back end of the year. So I didn't see the merit in it. I won't want him when you have your final 21 towards the end of the year. He's probably going to be a 20th, 21st best player, and there's better options out there. There's 5 or 6 halves better than him. And yeah, I just don't see why you would bring him in unless you were really high on him. And yeah, 46 is not a bad score by any means. A bit lower than you'd want for him, but I just didn't see the merit in bringing him in. He wasn't going to make money. He's not a final team keeper. Yeah, just didn't make sense to me. So I said leave it, and I gave myself a green because I still stand by all those things. And yeah, his score wasn't the best. So yeah, on the other side of things, the Who's Not list, the 15 most popular trade outs this week. This one will be a shorter section because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them didn't play due to injury or buys. Kartonga and Iongi had buys. Yeah, so there's no data to support any of those. A lot of them were easy trade outs with the injuries. More than happy to keep Kartonga and Iongi. You see, Kartonga is coming off a bad score. Iongi just scored a double, but Moses is back. So yeah, they were easy keeps for me. And Hubner's back this week. As long as he's still in that lock spot, easy keep. The rest, Jack Cole was just not named because Blaise Taulagi played. He scored a try, so I don't think he's going to be back anytime soon. So even with his 16 break even, I think you can easily justify getting rid of him. Yeah, and the rest were just all injured. Corey Pake's 22 points, minus 13k. He was named on the bench, so if you had him, he was an easy sell, and I assume most of you did, which is good. Sandon Smith, I was on the fence about this one. I said keep him unless you have an upgrade you love. So if there was someone out there like a Nico Hines, Jamal Fogarty that you really liked and you really wanted to pick up this week, then by all means do it. He probably has another 50k or so in him, which he made 50k this week alone. So he'll make a little bit more money. He's not going to make a ton more unless he pumps out another 75, but that's unrealistic. He had 3 line breaks, heaps of goals, a try, 2 tries? Yeah, 2 tries. So yeah. I don't rate him too highly as a fantasy prospect. I got rid of him a couple of weeks ago for Savala, I think, just because I wasn't expecting him to make a ton more money. Yeah, obviously, well done if you kept him. If you sold him, it sucks, but you probably got Savala, who scored 57 anyway, so it's not the end of the world. And I don't think Sandon Smith has a ton more in him, even with that score. Probably another 75 to 100k now. So disappointing if you sold, but don't beat yourself up. I believe it was the right thing to do if you did have an upgrade you loved. But I'll give myself a green, so was leaning more towards keep. Kalen Ponga, that's disappointing. He scored 22, minus 60k. My justification here was keep him because he'll definitely lose money this round. I was adamant about that. but I thought he's just priced so low that he would start to bounce back. And a lot of people, if he wasn't playing Origin, a lot of people would want to bring him in over the next couple of weeks just based on that price point. Like, he came into the season at 730k. He was 600k before the round, but like averaging 54 last year, 51. Like, he was priced at 45 coming into the round. So that was my justification. I stand by it, even though his form is terrible. But yeah, now with the 69 even still, Origin around the corner, he's almost certainly going to play with Reece Walsh out. If Reece Walsh was not injured, I'd consider keeping him. But yeah, if you want to get rid of him now, if you're just totally fed up, it's fair enough. I'd probably still keep him personally until round 12. Is a sneaky chance to miss Origin, even though I doubt it. But yeah, let's say he scores a 45 and a 45. Like, you're going to lose a little bit of money this week and then make it up next 2 rounds anyway. And he has that boom or bust potential. So just ride the wave if I were you. But yeah, totally understand if you're just fed up with him. So no issues either way. But I'm sticking through. I'm going to say keep. But yeah, obviously gave myself a red because he scored 22 points, lost 60k. So it was poor advice, but he could easily pump out 100 this week. And yeah, that would turn into decent advice. But yeah, he could easily score 20. So yeah, gave myself a red. But yeah, it's totally up to you what you want to do with him. If I had him, I'd keep him, but I had no interest because I wanted Jaden Campbell from the get-go. But yeah, poor Ponga and Walsh owners. And then the last one, Adam B. I said keep him this week. Obviously, what's his name? Lockie Galvin is back this week. So he was playing in the centres, but he kept goal kicking, which was obviously going to happen. I just said give it a week. He had a 45 break even or so. There was no point selling him this week. In the centres, you can score a couple of tries. And anything can happen. Worst case, you lose 20, 30k, and then he's a sell. But a lot of people picked him up last week. There was no targets on the board that I loved. I just said keep him, see what happens. And yeah, you got a 52. So you're happy with that. Obviously, they had the extra time, so he got an extra 10 minutes, but I don't think he did too much. Yeah, 52 points is solid. What's his break even? If he stays in the centre and with his injury history, he's not a bad sell anytime soon. Like, just get rid of him when you want, but just wait for that break even to creep up. With a 30, just keep him until he scores a 10, 20, 30 or gets injured. Yeah, like, he's not going to lose too much money and you got nothing to lose really. So just keep him. So yeah, that was my recap of the advice. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 greens. So 10 strong advices, three poor advices, but they were heavy poor. Like Cannon Bond with 22 minus 60k and Erin Clark plus 62k with 81. They were really, they worked out pretty badly after one round. Erin Clark, yeah, if he's playing 60 plus minutes again, yeah, feel free to get him in. But if he's going back down to 45 minutes, it is a big risk still. And I like other hookers on the board. There's a couple of buy lows that I like Jerome Hughes. So he's not going to make his way into my team, but with hookers dismal this year, I can definitely see why people would bring him in. But that's the only one that I'd probably really change my tune on. Ponga, I'm still happy to keep. Sandon Smith, keep, yeah. Like the rest of it, it's give or take. Obviously, one round's not a lot of data. We'll quickly have a tiny look who's on the who's hot and who's not list. It's obviously a Monday. Yeah, no data yet. So we'll have a video out on maybe Wednesday, maybe tomorrow after team lists of if that these lists start to creep up a little bit of ownership. But yeah, I'll have some videos on my trade targets as well, potentially some pods that aren't on this list. Jaden Brayley will be in that one. I'll try and make a good case for him. Hopefully a few of you guys follow me. But yeah, that's it for me for this one. Good luck with your trades this week if you are making some, and if you're holding, well done to you. See ya.